gotten comfortable, and then every time I go back to the comedy mix, it's like my first time again. I get really nervous and all that, and I'll be at the comedy mix July 30th. If anybody's interested, I don't know. I don't care if you're interesting or not, really.
Thank you, my international people, for tuning in. Another great episode of the You and I Talk Show with Louise UWACU, your host. I am so happy. Radio. I miss radio, but I love this camera thing. It makes me put on makeup, you know, and then when I take off the makeup, I go in the street, nobody recognizes me. I don't have to be, I don't have to be known all the time. So incognito, makeup, and then makeup, camera. Thank you for being with us. It's been so great hosting these shows on camera. I love it. Send me your questions, send me your suggestions. You want to be on the show, please be on the show. Today on the show, we have a very interesting guest. Italian.
Hello, ciao. Ciao.
Ciao. Come vai?
Bene.
Bene.
Grazie.
An Italian person that speaks less Italian than me.
That's right. It's not all. I feel like you're scolding me again.
What?
We've talked about this before.
Joey Commisso, a comedian.
That too, yeah.
Italian and comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Does that go together?
Not really.
Not really, eh?
Actually, yeah, there was a couple great Italians before me.
Oh.
And I have to say, so back to that I don't speak and everything, I always have to clarify, there's a third of Polish blood in there too.
Oh.
So.
Do you speak any Polish language?
I know how to ask for pierogies at the deli.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that?
The Polish deli?
Uh-huh.
There's a couple great ones.
Oh.
Sausages and pierogi. And they really do a lot of great things with blueberry in the pastries.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nice. So your 1/3 Polish is the reason why you don't speak Italian?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you're like 2/3 Italian.
Yes. It would be mostly Italian if you go with the science where the blood went. And then there's like Canadian. My mom's half Canadian and half Polish. But,
Ooh.
Yeah.
But you're white.
I guess so. I'm sorry.
Okay. Joey, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, a comedian, when I wanted to have you on the show, I really wanted to speak to someone from the Mafia.
Okay.
And because you were Italian, I presumed that you would be from the Mafia.
Yeah.
But so now you get here and you're a comedian, it's not funny,
It's not funny at all. The Mafia actually doesn't exist. It's just something that Hollywood made for more interesting movie plots.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So who am I going to have to go to if I want someone killed?
The Russian Mafia? I don't know.
The Russians, not the Italians?
Not the Italians.
Italians
no,
are in a different business nowadays. Italians are in comedy nowadays.
Yeah, it's the new facet. We've already done a lot of concrete work, and we have to expand our avenue. Woodworking isn't doing as well as it used to be, so the craftsmanship of jokes, it's the new frontier.
It's the new place to be at.
I hear.
Wow. So, Joey, you were born in Toronto.
Yes.
And your parents live in Toronto.
Just outside of Toronto.
Just outside of Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto people will want to have that kind of precision.
The distinction.
Yes. And your parents just came to visit you in Vancouver. They're very sad that you left Toronto and they followed you to Vancouver.
It took them a while. took them like 3 years, but now they came out and they kind of understand a little bit. Yeah, it's
Do they
good.
understand why you're in Vancouver?
After they got here, yeah.
They see the trees.
They
the
saw a couple
mountains.
trees, they were relaxed. Yeah,
They like Vancouver.
they like it.
So what is it about Vancouver that moved you though? Like, why would you move from Toronto? It's a big town, big city, everything is happening, all the Italians and the Polish, and then you move to like a village like Vancouver. Why?
Because it was 100% different, and I wasn't really like big kid. Like I said, like living in a suburb outside of Toronto was like enough to be in a bubble away from Toronto. Just like Toronto can be its own bubble because it's so big and there's so many things that you don't really have to leave. But Vancouver was different. I've actually never been here or read too many things about it. I was kind of into snowboarding at the time and mountain biking, and emotionally not good. So it was one of those things where like the end of Good Will Hunting looked really inspirational.
Oh,
So I was like, I'm gonna do that too.
I really love that movie, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it worked.
So before that, you were working in your dad's grocery store?
Something like that. My dad worked at this company, and it was easy to get a job working at his store. And then kind of moved up there. That was a while ago. Before I came out here, I was working at a golf course, which I still do. It's an interesting
Is that
job.
where you got the hat from?
Yeah, I stole it from a caddy in 1979.
I see, man. That hat is nice. It's kind of cute. But it is from 1979, though. I can see the little tear on the side.
Little tear on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been through a lot. It used to be a tablecloth.
Now it's a hat. All right. So when we come back, you'll tell us particularly about your experience working at a grocery store versus making people laugh.
Oh, wow.
We want to know what was so funny about vegetables that pushed you overboard into comedy. All right, so we'll be back in a second, and Joey will be telling us how funny vegetables can be. My international people, welcome back. Your host, Louise UWACU, talking to Joey Commisso, fake Italian. Don't go to him if you want somebody killed by D-Time Mafia. He's denying the whole thing, people. Joey.
What?
Okay, you don't want to talk about that. I understand. So you want to talk about vegetables and groceries. Let's go there. Let's go to the grocery store. So you have this whole idea, because you worked in a grocery store, about we need to follow the chocolate. Follow the chocolate.
If you follow the chocolate,
Yeah.
you'll see everything. Yeah, so I used to think it was like such a great idea to follow in my dad's footsteps and work. He was a grocery store manager, a wholesale grocery store manager, so he actually didn't, as you say, deal with vegetables. But it was a lot of dry groceries, wholesale stuff, and one of the things was lots of candy, right? And there would be things as like, I don't know if I'm blowing the whistle on too much right now, but it's like, there's no such thing as a fresh candy cane. You know, it's always kind of like pushed over. They don't sell, so it's like, oh, this year they're 50 cents a box type of thing.
Is it a profitable business? People have to eat. It's like a necessary must business anyways, right?
Yeah. Well, that's where I was going with talking to you about the grocery store before, is like, I guess as a comedian, I have to develop like some type of philosophy, but like I'm pretty passive. So I have to kind of come up with one way about how I feel about the world and like what might be important. And I'm pretty sure not too many comics have talked about food. And like the grocery store is like, if you want a hierarchy of like sacred places in the world,
Yeah.
is like, I think maybe the grocery store should be one of the top of the list. Is like maybe tied with libraries, schools. But it's like, I think eating to keep yourself alive is actually more profound than we give credit for. And one of the biggest things that's scaring me is the cashier is disappearing in our world.
Oh,
You know, it's
you've
like,
noticed that too.
I've been to a store where there was no cashiers and all automated machines.
Yeah.
And it really gave me this like Arnold Schwarzenegger Total Recalls, no, type of thing. Because, and we pay with debit cards and credit cards a lot. And I noticed that when you give a cashier your debit card, they take it and then they do a whole like, everybody has the same stance where they just kind of put their back to you and they're looking at the computer. It's like, please dial up to the modem. Get out of here. Please don't talk. So how's your day? It's good. You know, like the cashier used to be like the bartender for your food. You know, they know who you are. It's like, oh.
So maybe that's why they're disappearing, because they've become like machines anyways. And then the grocery store is like, well, if you're going to stand there and just be a machine.
Yeah.
I might as well plug a machine. It's going to cost me less in paying electricity for the machine than to pay the salary of the cashier.
Something like that. Yeah. But
So what is this? You're going to succeed as a comedian though. Are you worried that you're not going to find your job back at the grocery? What is this?
Oh, as an Italian, I'm always worried about having a job. I think that's why I'm a terrible comedian. Is because like I want security. It's like, so I like my day jobs, I guess.
I see. Oh, wow. So when we come back, you're going to tell us about, what's more interesting, libraries, schools, or grocery stores, like you were saying. And you were talking about how you have a series, you're writing a series, a CSI about groceries.
Wow.
Better not be any killing going on in the groceries.
That would be a great series angle, though, wouldn't it?
When we come back, my people. My international people, welcome back. We are still just chilling here. You and I talk regular conversation. Instead of watching reality bullshit television. Did I say bullshit? Am I allowed to say bullshit on my show? Maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe we'll blip it. Anyways, instead of watching reality, watch us talk to real people, talk about real stuff that you may be talking about. Anyways, Joey, you're not performing in a grocery store.
No, sometimes.
And you hate the fact that they've replaced the cashiers with the machine, because now you can't tell your jokes to the machine.
Yeah.
So where can people find you?
There's the Vancouver comedy scene is interesting because the more you look, the more you find that it's going on all over the place. Like in Vancouver, I think on a Wednesday night, you can probably find 7 shows going on at one time. I can't be at all of them. There's the open mic thing. So there's a Goldie's Pizza that happens at Thursday at 8:30. And that's an interesting place. It's kind of
I've heard about it. Where's Goldie's Pizza? I don't know if I've ever been.
Seymour and Pender. Can't miss it once you're there.
I'm kind of new in Vancouver, so those names mean nothing.
Okay. So we're right downtown, a block south of the Harbor Center. So that's where kind of Gastown meets downtown and a beautiful view and everything. So like this is a place where people go up, amateurs, professionals go there. And it's a mismatch of people being really scared and some bad energy and great energy. But I think it's it's the truth of comedy. It's sometimes could be a little bit ugly. And then sometimes it could be like, wow, that guy just had a great set or something.
Is that the kind of stuff that you would like people to tape? Or is it like when you're practicing and you're still kind of working on your material?
Sometimes I go there and leave and I'm like, I'm even mad that I taped it for myself to listen to. But and there's so many places. There's the Goldie's. Susie Rossum is one of the facilitators of that. She runs Thursday nights. There's a guy named Brendan Bork. He does the Sin Bin. I'll give you a website to find all these places. Dylan Reimer, the Prop House. And these are all rooms. There's clubs that are kind of more of an ordeal. You know, there's spotlights and security guards as opposed to the rooms. It's kind of like a chilled out thing.
I've been to the Comedy Mix.
The Comedy Mix is great. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. I love performing there. They're letting me go back after my first time, and I've had really great reactions that have kept me buzzing for a couple days. It's a
great place. I love the stage, everything. It's
They
really
have-
nice place.
You know, they have a green room. You know, you get to sit back there, and it's really cool. And I've been doing it for a year, and I've gotten comfortable. And then every time I go back to the Comedy Mix, it's like my first time again. I get really nervous and all that. And I'll be at the Comedy Mix July 30th. If anybody's interested. I don't know. I don't care if you're interesting or not, really.
Oh, okay. So, one last thing that I want to end on. What kind of sports do you like?
Sports? Mm-hmm. Like that I participate in or that I watch on TV?
I heard rumors, Joey. I heard rumors that you like a very, very weird sport. So come out and say it. Don't make me out you.
I love professional wrestling to watch on TV. I don't watch any other sport on TV, and it actually makes me really angry. I have a bit on it that poker is on the sports channel. Okay,
Also,
that's like, you know, and people go after wrestling's throat all the time and say, I might as well add too is like that I love bowling.
wrestling. How is wrestling a sport?
It's-
I asked for a sport.
You wanted a sport. So it's a sport because these guys are jumping 15 feet in the air and managing not to kill themselves. They're lifting, they're lifting weights. They're running, and they're making it entertaining. They have the idea
Why
of
is
like
it
what we
not
like about
theater?
sport. Why is it not theater? Well, I guess it is kind of
I didn't
theater.
ask what kind of theater you like.
You didn't ask what type of theater I like? Fairy tale. Fairy tale theater.
Is this how people always react when you talk about wrestling as a
It just
sport?
kills everything. And we were having a good interview until that came up. Because if you're a wrestling fan, you defend it. 'Cause I spent a lot of my life watching this. Don't make fun of wrestling.
Oh,
Stop
Joey,
laughing at me.
it's not real.
No, I know it's not real, and that's why it's
Oh, you
good.
know.
You know what's real? UFC. When like their head is smacking against the thing, and it's like, okay, maybe I'll stop the fight now. It's like this is a true story. I was at a bar with a friend. I pretty much didn't eat, back to like respecting your body. It's like I didn't eat. We are gonna have dinner, but there was a big UFC fight, so we bribed the guy to get into a bar.
Oh, you bribed the guy.
Shit.
I caught that. Okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
Well, we had to, it's one of those things. It's like, if you're a woman, you don't have to bribe people to get into clubs. But if you're a guy, $5
You
helps.
just smile. Whatever happened to smiling?
To smiling?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about wrestling.
Okay, let's keep talking about wrestling.
Anyway, UFC made me faint. I know it's not manly to like say this, but we were at this bar, and there's this guy's eye was just turning into a volcano of blood and yellowness, and there's all these people with like chicken wings in their teeth, and I just like had a sensory overload, and I was like, I'm out of here. Yeah, I mean, wrestling, that doesn't happen. You know why? Because it's fake.
Why wouldn't you call wrestling acting?
Well, because there's like there is acting into it, and that's what entertains
Why
me.
wouldn't
Because
you call it choreographed?
because ballet is choreographed, and I don't do ballet. But
And what would be the difference between ballet and wrestling, though? It's choreographed and
I've never
planned.
seen a steel chair in a ballet stage. Never.
Steel chair in a ballet stage.
Yeah.
You've never seen.
I like wrestling, and because they're acting, they're way more entertaining than athletes. Athletes that just train with pucks all the time. I don't want to
what's
hear what they
funny?
have to say. I played a good game out there. I was trying hard. I have daddy issues because I didn't really want to get into hockey, but I'm not good at anything else.
Back in the days, this is something, at least wrestling is fake. Back in the days when we were growing up in Africa,
Yeah.
in Nairobi, we used to watch the wrestling thing, the American thing. And
You thought it was
some
real.
other people did not know
Yeah.
that it was fake until one person in the neighborhood went to America, traveled to America. One kid traveled to America. He came back.
Yeah.
And he told the whole neighborhood the wrestling is fake because they just came from America.
Yeah,
And
it's
we
a
were
hard
like,
thing to accept.
No!
I'm 30
You
and I just
fight in the
accepted it was
neighborhood
fake when I
like,
was.
No, you're lying. You think you can go to America and come back to us and lie to us? The wrestling is fake.
It's a hard thing to.
When did you find out? At which age did you find out? What Santa Claus is?
Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Well, Santa Claus told me wrestling was fake when I was 19 years old, but I didn't really accept it until I was 27.
Okay, people, let's end the show on that. Don't listen to Santa, he's a liar. Wrestling is real. Joey, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And we will talk some more. We will probably come and watch you perform one day.
That would be nice.
Goldie's Pizza, and then we'll show
Not
our
Goldie's.
audience. Not Gold.
No,
Comedy
Goldie's.
Mix.
Come to Goldie's. No, I shouldn't poo-poo anything. Come to wherever you want and give me money.
We'll come to the Comedy Mix.
I mean, I do it for love, but I'm broke. I shouldn't have said that.
It's okay. It's okay. Laughter is, people know that when you're starting to make people laugh, you make them laugh for free.
You make them laugh
And
for
then
free.
eventually, when they can't be without your laughter, you charge them.
Yeah.
You're like a drug dealer. You give them the first thing for free.
Yeah. I told you the Mafia doesn't exist already.
I know. And
No
then
crime.
that's why I keep interviewing you, so you
keep-
finally tell me the truth. We'll see how many interviews we do with you.
There won't be another interview after this. I've let out too many secrets. They're after me.
All right. So we will restrict it to this when this video comes out, we'll restrict it to Italy. You can restrict it on YouTube. People in Italy don't have to be watching this.
Okay, good idea.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye, my international people.